Episode 1.
In a quiet corner of the forest lived someone small, very small. His name was Fly Cebong, and no, he couldn't fly. Not yet. Every day, Fly Cebong watched dragonflies soaring above the treetops, flipping, gliding, dancing through the wind, and every day, he wished that could be him. But watching wasn't enough anymore. He didn't just admire Dragonfly. He envied him. A deep, squishy, sad kind of envy. The kind that makes your heart sink. That night, while the stars blinked gently above, Fly Cebong whispered a prayer. Not for riches, not for power, just wings. He prays to the Almighty God to be given wings so that she can fly in the sky like a dragonfly. Morning came with birdsong and sunshine, but something felt different. Something felt leafy ... He had wings, leaf wings. He had no idea how, but they were his. At first, he just hovered, wobbled a little, but then he lifted and he laughed. He immediately tried to fly out of the river. While laughing happily, he flew over the green meadow. He soared ... higher than trees, higher than clouds. For the first time in his life, Fly Cebong actually lived up to his name. Down below, the forest stared. Birds blinked, butterflies gasped. Even the ants paused. Was that a flying tadpole? Not everyone was cheering. Behind a leaf, Dragonfly narrowed his eyes. Jealousy fluttered through the air like a second pair of wings. Up there, in the golden sky, a small green dot floated free. No legs, no rules, just courage and two leafy wings. And that was how Fly Cebong began. That morning, Fly Cebong couldn't stop smiling. He zipped, he flipped, he soared like the sky belonged to him. Down below, the forest watched. Birds waved their wings. A butterfly took a selfie, and a squirrel held up a sign. We love Fly Cebong, but not everyone was cheering. Hidden behind a leaf, Dragonfly narrowed his eyes. His wings buzzed with jealousy.
He flew off by himself. He praised once and now he's famous.
In the sky, Fly Cebong spotted him. Not angry, not proud, just sad. He flew closer, and with a gentle smile,
Bro, you inspired me. Without you, I wouldn't even know what flying was.
Dragonfly blinked, then smiled, and just like that, the sky was filled with laughter, loops, and leaf-wing barrel rolls. As the sun began to set, two little flyers drifted into the golden sky, not chasing fame, just flying together. It was a bright and peaceful morning. Fly Cebong and his best friend Red Dragonfly soared over the river, ready for whatever adventure might come. But then, something strange caught their eyes. Floating on the water dock wrappers, bottles and bags, it didn't belong here. Suddenly, Fly Cebong slipped on a noodle wrapper and spun in the air. Red Dragonfly burst out laughing, but both of them knew this was no joke. A deep, wise voice echoed from below.
This river wasn't always like that.
An old turtle slowly emerged from behind the rocks. The turtle told them stories of clean waters, singing birds, and swimming fish before the trash came. Before things began to disappear. Just then, a plastic bottle bobbed up and spoke.
Hey, I'm not trash, I'm a modern art installation.
Fly Cebong and Red Dragonfly froze. Fly Cebong looked around at the floating mess.
But what can we do?
He whispered. The turtle turned and gave a soft smile.
Awareness
Said the turtle, touching his heart.
is the first step. Before you change the world, you must understand it. They all sat still, just watching the river flow, thinking. No big speeches, just quiet understanding.
As the sun began to set, Fly Cebong and Red Dragonfly took off into the golden sky. With one promise in their hearts, this story isn't over. To be continued. The sky was clear that morning, but the river? Still drowning in trash. Fly Cebong and the Red Dragonfly hovered quietly, disappointed. Suddenly, the plastic bottles and wrappers began to tremble. Something was stirring, something unnatural. From deep beneath the river, a giant figure emerged, roaring, glowing, and made entirely of garbage. The trash monster had awoken. Without hesitation, Fly Cebong and Red Dragonfly rushed to tell the wise turtle. This wasn't just pollution anymore. It was a threat to the entire forest. Every animal gathered. Birds, squirrels, ants, butterflies, all turned to Fly Cebong for a plan. And he stood tall as a tadpole could.
We protect this river. Together.
Fly Cebong declared. The trash monster moved in. Fly Cebong and Red Dragonfly soared high, darting through the wind, leading the charge. This was it. The first strike. Red Dragonfly zipped low, taunting the monster.
Now!
Shouted Fly Cebong. They lured the beast exactly where they needed him. The trap closed. Bottles clattered. Wrappers scattered. Piece by piece, the monster crumbled. The river could breathe again. As the sun dipped low, Fly Cebong and Red Dragonfly flew above the now cleansed river.
We did it!
Because protecting nature is everyone's duty. Once the sky above the forest was bright. But today, it hides behind thick gray clouds. No birds, no sunshine, just a silent chill like the world stopped breathing. The trees lost their color. The river turned slow and cold. Creatures huddled together, confused, afraid even Fly Cebong's leaf wings couldn't warm the air anymore.
If this goes on, we're all finished.
Fly Cebong tried to stay strong, but in his heart, a single question kept echoing.
What can I do? I'm just a tadpole with wings.
That night, with frost on his back and shadows in the sky, Fly Cebong found a quiet place by the river. He looked up at the darkness and whispered a prayer.
Dear Creator of Light, if you hear me, I don't ask for power, just a way to help those I love.
And in that stillness, something stirred. A warm breeze aglow. A whisper of dawn. A single beam of light pierced the clouds, touching the leaf on Fly Cebong's back. His wings shimmered, his glasses glowed. Something ancient awakened. The tadpole with no legs became a light bearer. His wings now pulsed with solar energy. His voice, once small, now echoed like thunder. Fly Cebong was no longer just a tadpole. He was a guardian of the forest. As he flew over the treetops, the frozen leaves rustled, and rays of warmth followed him. For the first time in days, the forest opened its eyes.
Cebong, what happened to you?
I prayed, and God answered.
But the light was only the beginning. The path ahead would be colder, darker, and deep in the clouds. Something was watching. But this time he was ready. In a forest blanketed by cold and silence, a brave little tadpole rises again. Fly Cebong and his red dragonfly friend float over a land that seems forgotten, but not lost. They arrive at a ghostly village, where whispers of old warnings linger on broken walls. What happened here is only the beginning. A roar from the sky, a dark wave descends. Fly Cebong shields the earth with glowing wings, but the fog is too strong. And getting closer, inside a cave, trembling creatures huddle. Their eyes meet his, scared, desperate. He smiles gently, because even small wings can bring warmth. By a frozen tree, he sits in silence. A small paw reaches for his hand. The red dragonfly stays close. In stillness, a choice begins to bloom. In the clearing, energy swirls. Guided by the wise turtle, Fly Cebong trains once more, this time with light inside his heart. A second storm moves, but Fly Cebong doesn't run. He opens his wings wide. Behind him, others follow. The battle has begun. He glows brighter than ever. Light bursts from his chest, splitting darkness. The forest breathes again. Eyes widen. Hope returns. One by one, they shine. Fireflies, lanterns, laughter. The forest glows. And Fly Cebong? He floats above like a star among stars. They look up. A monstrous shadow awakens. The journey is far from over. But now, no one stands alone.
Subscribe to this channel so you won't miss Fly Cebong's next mission to save the planet. Like this video if you believe Fly Cebong can heal the Earth one wing at a time. Want Fly Cebong to defeat the next pollution monster? Share this video and power up his wing. Comment monster below if you're ready to see Fly Cebong faces next. Hit the bell.